Adam, do you mind just sending it back out? Huh? Do you mind sending it back out this week? Is that alright? Now here is Rouse on the ball for the home side. Cross goes in, Spittle clears and Solomon Davis once more. Connor Evans on the ball now. His pass is intercepted well by Moonen. Now they've got the ball on that far side with captain Tom Miller. Apologies for the bad sound earlier. We are back live now. Didn't miss too much in the game, but here is Carson for the home side. Well blocked in there by Charlie Doyle. Stalybridge not with the best connection I've seen. We have a few technical problems, but we are back live here. Not too much happening in the game, but the home side do have a throw in on the near side. A cross goes in by Carson towards the back post, but header can't quite go in. And it's Miller following up, and his effort is high and wide, and it will be a goal kick for Bailey Passon. Just under 9 minutes in to this Tuesday evening game. Marine looking for 3 wins in a row after defeating Nantwich and Whitby in their last 2 fixtures. Passon with a long kick towards Evans, who loses out, but Lussey's back in there and is headed towards Solomon now. Solomon keeps the ball well and plays it back to Lussey. Lussey looks to dig one out to Evans, but it's headed away once more, this time by Waldron. And Marine have a throw in on that far side. Sean Smith will take the throw in, looking for an option now. He picks out Jack Dunn, who hits for a first time volley, but it's comfortably held by Greg Hall. Stalybridge with 7 losses out of their last 7 league games. Looking to change things this evening against the Mariners. Hall hits it long, but Spittle gets underneath it, but it's not the best header, and it's picked up once again by Bailey Jones. And now is Abadaki back towards Bailey Jones, but Smith does well to intercept. And Browse will just let the ball run out on that far side for a throw-in. He leaves it to Captain Miller, who will throw it towards Waldron under pressure from Evans. Waldron has to go back to his goalkeeper. Evans still putting the hard yards in, and it's not the best kick forward by Hall, and Jack Dunn's able to collect the ball nicely. Oh, he almost plays it in to Solomon making the run. But the home side clear forward. Wardle underneath that one and helps it on again. Bailey Jones now with the ball, looking to run at Sean Smith. Smith does well to put the pressure on and help him play back, and now it's intercepted by Marine. Referee looking to play advantage, but Smith was fouled and Marine will have the free kick inside their own half. Bailey Passon moving forward to take this one. I am. Don't worry about it. Passon with the free kick. Hits it long towards Evans. Good header in there by Carson. Solomon Davis is underneath that one, and Carson replies with another header. Spittle does well to dig out the pass. Now is Jack Dunn running at the Stalybridge defence. Looks to chip a ball over to our new signing, Freddie Price, but it's well defended in there by Matty Carson once more. Stalybridge will have a goal kick. 0-0 here at Bowerfold. Neither side really troubling the goals at both ends. Marine team high on confidence compared to a Stalybridge side not won 7 league games. Greg Hall will hit this goal kick forward. And does so. Up towards Rouse, but it's headed well by Wardle. And I think a high foot will be given there on Connor Evans. And Breen will have a free kick to build on. Halfway inside the Stalybridge half, Jack Dunn claiming this one. Wardle and Spittle just trotting towards the edge of the D of Stalybridge's box. A rather high line here by Stalybridge, but Dunn will put the ball in nevertheless towards Spittle at the back post. Has it back in towards, and it's hit the bar. Freddie Price back in the header, and he probably should have put the ball in the back of the net there, Price, but the ball came at him quickly and it's come off the bar, and Stalybridge end up having a free kick inside their own box. It was a nice footed ball by Jack Dunn. Charlie Doyle back into the box. Freddie Price was there unmarked at the back post and couldn't guard his header on target. Came off the bar, and that's the best chance of the game so far. Price will be thinking he probably should have buried that one, but it's good forward play by the Mariners. The free kick taken by Hall's gone all the way out for a throw into Sean Smith. He goes down the line. Miller cuts it out. Now there's Lussey underneath it. Good strength by Charlie Doyle, but he loses out. And the ball hit forward towards Abadaki now. Abadaki's taken on Solomon Davis, but it's a good challenge by Solomon Davis, who returns to starting lineup for the first time since that nasty injury at Stafford Rangers. Feels quite an age ago now. And a throw in for Stalybridge. Carson into Abadaki. Returns and crosses. Not a bad ball, but Sean Smith does well to clear his lines. Header flicked on by Moonan. But Marine now have the ball. Here's Solomon. Solomon looking to thread a ball through the middle, and Price hits the deck. So does Abadaki, but the officials give nothing, and Stalybridge will continue with possession moving forward now. But it's cut out well by Connor Evans. Good pressure once more by the forward. Bailey Jones now comes inside from the right hand side. It's past Sean Smith, but it's forced back by Lussey, and Lussey there again to challenge for a throw to the hosts. Miller with the throw. He picks up the ball once more, but has to pass it back to Scott Holding, and it's cut out by Connor Evans once more. He started the game with rather high intensity at the top end of the pitch. Miller with the throw just inside the Marine half, runs all the way to Wardle, who can't quite hit the clearance, and now it's Spittle who has to slice it forward, but it's still not fully cleared by the visitors. Solomon Davis does well, but loses out, and now here's Matthew Carson with the ball forward. It's going to run all the way out for a Marine goal kick. So if you're just joining us, 16 minutes in, new signing Freddie Price, who signed yesterday, is in the starting 11, and we'll be thinking he should have given Marine the lead with a free header. Came off the bar. But it's been a fairly decent start by the Mariners, as Passon will line up this goal kick. Up towards Jack Dunn. Rouse is underneath it though for the home side. Smith forward and flicked on by Evans. Rouse once more towards Wardle, who will return the favour. Header in there by Holding. Jack Dunn challenging for the ball and does well to win it back, but Lossey's ball forward runs out for a Stalybridge throw-in. Captain Tom Miller will send this throw-in forward. Still looking down the line and eventually takes a throw-in. Smith heads it back in, and It's put forward once more by the home side. Jack Dunn now chests it down and does well. Still Dunn battling in there, and the deflection by Bailey Jones runs all the way out for a Marine corner. Good battling by Jack Dunn, and he's done well for his side once more. But here's Jordan Lussey, who's running over to take his corner in front of the travelling Mariners behind the goal. The two centre halves have come forward for this one as Lussey is lining up this corner and does put it into the box. And it's towards Jack Dunn, and somehow he can't put the ball in the back of the net, but it comes back out to Lussey now. Lussey with a much deeper cross that's run all the way out for a goal kick to the home side, but ball could have fell anywhere there as it hit the back of Jack Dunn's head. I don't know how much he knew about it, but it remains 0-0 at Bowerfold, sorry. Marine definitely stronger of the two in the attacking areas so far in this game. Unlucky to have not taken an early lead. Goal kick now by Hull is won well by Price, and Price does well with the header and wins inside a throw-in just inside Stalybridge's half. Solomon Davis eventually gets the ball in his hands and goes back to Johnny Spittle. Spittle under a little pressure, so he hits it down the line. Header in there by Carson. Lussey gets up for Marine, and a header in there by Abadaki. Gives Solomon Davis another chance to put a throw-in in on this near side. Connor Evans just pulling over on this near side. Solomon Davis eventually gets it towards Evans, who pushes, I think that's Matthew Carson in the back, and it's a cheap free kick for the home side. But it's been a positive start by the forward Connor Evans, impressing his manager with some high intensity, some high pressing that we saw glimpses of in that 2-0 win against Whitby Town on Saturday. The free kick goes forward towards Rouse, who looks to flick the ball on, but I think that will run all the way out for a Marine throw-in. Solomon Davis with the throw-in, looks to go down the line once more, but instead turns and throws it back to Bailey Passon under a little pressure by Raoul Corrier. It's a lovely kick towards Solomon, who just can't quite get hold of the ball. A little bit too much on that by Passon, in Solomon's fairness, and it will be a throw-in for Tom Miller Stalybridge. Miller now hits his throw down the line. Lussey's battling in there with Godwin Abadaki and wins a throw-in. Two Abadakis for Stalybridge, Godwin and Asabi, so trying not to get mixed up with them this evening as the throw-in comes in towards Miller now. Here's Godwin Abadaki, cut out by Doyle, but Doyle loses out, and it's some nice play by Domain Rouse now charging forward, but there's Price with the interception. And Solomon does just enough to win Marine a throw-in inside their own half. Certainly been involved in the action so far. Freddie Price hitting the bar inside 10 minutes. And he's done well battling in the middle of the park once more there for the Mariners as Passon has the ball under a bit of pressure, but manages to get the kick forward towards Freddie Price, who wins the flick on. And Evans is putting pressure on Waldron now. Evans once more putting the yards in, but Stalybridge do well to clear forward. Now here's Bailey Jones with time to drive forward. Smith does well to stay with him, and the ball runs back towards Matty Carson now. Carson tries to switch the play, and Miller does well to keep it in. Looks to be just running away there, but still got it, Stalybridge. But a ball forward there will be shepherded out by Josh Wardle, who does excellently to clear his lines. And the ball will be cut out for Marine throw that Evans wants to take quickly, but does leave it for Sean Smith. About halfway in this first half now. Still remains Stalybridge Celtic 0, Marine 0. Marine with 2 decent early chances as the ball's hit forward towards Price, but Greg Hall comes off his line swiftly and gathers the ball. Hall thinks of going short, but instead rolls the ball out and will take the longer route. Looking for Rouse. Header in there by Spittle. Lussey plays a dodgy ball back to Passon. Passon does well to get hold of it and launches the ball forward to Evans. And it's a nice touch by Evans. Now Solomon. Jack Dunn now turns, and it's a great challenge in there by Godwin Abadaki on Jack Dunn, who looked to be leading his team away there. Ball now towards Raul Correa, who I think that's a handball on Correa that Wardle was appealing for, and Marine do have a free kick. It's a chance to break there for Marine. We've done, but not to be this time. This Passon lays the ball down and take this free kick forward. It's a long one towards Connor Evans, but Evans won't be getting near that one, and it's out for a Celtic throw-in, halfway inside their own half. And now Tom Miller with the throw-in down the line. Smith does well to head it in, and Jack Dunn lays it off to Charlie Doyle now. Doyle trying to drive forward under the challenge. Doyle does well, does really well, and lays it off to Solomon Davis, who's come forward and puts a good delivery in, and it's headed over his bar by Darius Waldron for a Marine corner. Solomon Davis returning to the start 11 this evening. It's great to see him back in the Marine team, especially due to the injury of Joe Ferguson at Nantwich Town last Tuesday night. It'll be Jack Dunn now to put in an in-swinging corner on this near side. Dunn puts the ball in. It's a great ball, and it's well gathered by Greg Hall. Not a bad delivery by Dunn. And Greg Hall looks to kick it forward early towards Abadaki, but it's tussled by Solomon Davis, and Smith eventually puts the ball forward towards Price now. Price had a good air from Marine. Price skips past the challenge. Price still on the ball and goes down, but that was never going to be a penalty. And the home side clear. An offside on Domain Rouse. And Josh Wardle will take the free kick. But good forward play there by Freddie Price. Just too much for him in the end. Certainly occupying the right wing slot now as he's right on this touchline. And Spittle will attempt to pick him out here. Price wins the flick on, but straight into the hands of Greg Hall in the Stalybridge goal. Hall still with the ball in his hands and does eventually kick it forwards, but Spittle is underneath that one. And now Solomon. Solomon picks up the ball and looks for the run of Price, but is deflected on its way and runs out for a throw-in just in front of the home side dugout. Solomon Davis throws it back to Johnny Spittle under a bit of pressure, but does managed to get his kick forward, but there's a bit too much pace on that for Connor Evans, and the ball back in the hands of Greg Hall. Hall hitting it forward once more, but it's a very poor kick straight out of play for another throw that Solomon Davis will take around about the halfway line here. It goes back to Johnny Spittle once more as Stalybridge playing rather deep, and the ball forward is headed away now by Waldron. Bailey Jones with the ball at his feet now. Back to Carson. Carson digs out a nice ball forward that Spittle will have to deal with under the pressure of Correa. And Spittle did get the last nick of that, and Celtic will have a throw in halfway inside the Marine half. Carson edging his way forward on this throw-in. Actually takes the throw-in in. Is Correa back to Abadaki. Back to the ball in. Carson it was who put the ball in. I think it just got a little head away in there by, might have been Jordan Lussey in there with the header away. Moonen now with the ball. Miller with a throw in and back to Rouse. Rouse skips past Dunn and chips a ball in. It's an easy one for Solomon Davis, but he's made hard work of it and headed straight to Abadaki now. Abadaki cuts in and it's well blocked in there by Charlie Doyle, and Doyle again following up with a sliding challenge. Solomon Davis just a bit half asleep there with the header, not aware that Asabi Abadaki was on his back, and the throw comes in now by Carson. Carson puts a cross in and Bailey Jones flicks it on. It's Miller at the back post. Miller comes inside and heads it towards goal, but Johnny Spittle is there to clear his lines. Pressure on by Jack Dunn on Dylan Moonen, but Moonen lets it run out for Stalybridge throw-in. Tom Miller takes a throw-in, receives it back. Miller does well to get past Dunn, and now he's got past Solomon. It's a nice run by the fullback, but his cross doesn't reflect his dribbling, and Solomon Davis will hit it towards the line. But it's cut out in there, but Freddie Price is in there and goes down under the challenge of Matty Carson and wins his side a free kick.
He just stopped a quick free kick, referee!
And Solomon Davis will leave this one for Bailey Passon. Half an hour in, still Stalybridge Celtic 0, Marine 0. The home side just starting to get into this game with a few deliveries into the box, but the Mariners defending well so far. As Passon hits his free kick forward towards Jack Dunn. It's well won in there by Rouse. Lussey's header is straight to Bailey Jones, who hits it forward, but that's going to run all the way out for Marine throw-in. Solomon Davis will take the throw-in back to Spittle. No, he opts to go down the line this time towards Price now. Back to Charlie Doyle, but couldn't quite control it there, the midfielder. And just inside their own half, Celtic will have a throw-in. Matty Carson, recently brought in on loan from Accrington Stanley, with the ball in his hands here, and goes down the line. But Spittle will clear forward, cut out by Scott Holden. It's gone straight to Smith, and Smith will play it to Solomon now. Solomon turns, looking to drive forward, but has to play it back to Smith. Smith's ball forward to Dunn is cut out and cleared by Holden once more. And a clear handball there by Correa, I think that was. Couldn't quite control it. And Marine have a free kick just inside their own half. Passon thinks about coming for it, but it's a little bit too far forward. And Jordan Lussey instead will look to deliver this one forward. Spittle and Wardle both lurking inside the box, just outside the box now, as Lucy delivers towards Wardle, but it's a great header in there by Godwin Abadaki. A nice play by his brother now, who slices the ball forward, and Sean Smith should get a nice header on it, and he does. And Solomon calmly plays it back to Charlie Doyle, but under the challenge of Godwin Abadaki. And now here's Abadaki running forward now. He cuts inside and plays it out wide to his captain, Tom Miller, who's in a bit of space. Solomon does well to push him back, and he's forced to play it back to Holden, who's passed forward, is cut out by Jack Dunn, and Marine can break it. Dunn towards Evans. Evans tries to take on Holden. There's a bit of a tussle by both players, but the referee awards a free kick to Stalybridge. Good chance to break there though by Marine. Evans just losing out this time, and Greg Hall will go over to take this free kick inside the home side's half. Hall's kick forward is a poor one, and Price cuts it out nicely, but his ball forward to Evans is cut out. Lucy's in there though, cleared away by Waldron. Smith under the challenge of Bailey Jones. It's good defended in there by Jordan Lucy. And the ball back to Passant. Passant under a bit of pressure by Correa, but is able to clear. But the ball goes all the way out for the Stalybridge throw-in.
Where's he going?
Matty Carson just heading a bit too far forward on the throw-in, and the referee has told him just to take a step back inside his own half. Carson does throw the ball down the line. Solomon Davis with the header, and Jack Dunn hits it towards the line. Here's Connor Evans, who just can't quite keep the ball in play, and it'll be another throw-in for the home side. Just over 10 minutes to go of the first half. New signing Freddie Price with a great chance to open his Marine account inside 10 minutes, but his header cannoned off the crossbar. And the throw-in now by Carson is flicked past everybody down the line, and Wardle is there covering to put the ball out for another throw-in. Still 0-0 between two sides as Carson once again throws in and puts a ball in towards Correa, who made the run to the near post, but it goes over his head and Passant now. There's a great kick forward by Passant, and Connor Evans is able to keep this one in play this time. Evans now. Marine bodies coming into the box, and Evans comes inside, but his ball into the box was a poor one and cut out easily by Miller. Charlie Doyle and Freddie Price both bombing into the box there. Evans couldn't quite dig out across that time. Sean Smith will have a throw-in, but it's Jordan Lucy in fact looking to take a long one. As Wardle makes his way into the box, Lucy tries to pick out his skipper, and Wardle does flick on, and a flick on by Price towards Sol Solomon. Just a bit too much pace on the ball, and the ball does go back to Greg Hall. And Hall will hit this one forward towards Correa. Spittle with a good header in there, and Lucy helps it on. Jack Dunn now battling with Abadaki, and a bit too much of a harsh challenge by Jack Dunn, and he has been penalised. And Stalybridge have a free kick just inside the Mariners' half. Matty Carson thought about taking it short, but allows his defenders to make their way towards the Marine box. And Carson does swing a ball in. He's got a lot of pace on it and a bit too much, in fact, and runs all the way out for Marine goal kick. Good chance to put a delivery in there by Carson, but poor ball in the end. To the delight of Bailey Passant, who will take this goal kick now. Passant goes forward looking for Solomon. Solomon loses out to Miller with the header. And flicked on once more by Moonen, but Wardle's there to knock a high ball forward. Evans is underneath it, and here's Freddie Price now. Price with a bit of space, trying to make his way forward, but it's cut out and cleared by Darius Waldron. And Marine do have a throw-in around about in line with Stalybridge's box. I think Jordan Lussey will try his luck once more with the long throw. Good numbers of Marine fans behind the goal, trying to give their team that support to open the scoring here. Lussey's throw-in is a long one, and it's headed by Wardle and cleared by Waldron forward. Flicked on by Abadaki, and Solomon Davis does well to cut out Bailey Jones, who looked to counter. But it's not forward once more, and Passant's come out for this one and does well, the goalkeeper, with a forward ball, and I think Solomon might be able to keep this in play. He's unlucky there, Solomon. He's battling with Tom Miller, who's had a solid start at fullback. Miller wins the battle this time and will take a throw in on that far side. Miller goes down the line, Smith with the header, and now is Jack Dunn looking to find Price, but the pass is cut out by Carson, and Carson has gone past Solomon Davis, and Solomon Davis gets back to make a great challenge there, the full-back, and Price will drive forward now for Marine. Price skips past Rouse and now into Charlie Doyle. Charlie Doyle with a nice ball across the play to Sean Smith, who's darted forward from full-back. Smith has to come back to Lussey now. Lussey looks to dig out a cross, but there's no one really there to pick out, and the ball runs back to Greg Hall. But a great recovery tackle by Solomon Davis. But he has left Carson on the floor here.
That's a great tackle.
A bit of unrest by the home side's dugout there, but seemed to be a brilliant challenge by Solomon Davis. But Matty Carson will just take a little bit of treatment here by the physios, and both sides will come over for a drinks break 5 minutes before the half. Still 0-0. Carson just stretching back to his feet. Seems in a little discomfort, but I presume he'll be allowed to play on. Carson back up fully now and just coming off this near touchline. Looks to be alright to carry on here. And the referee resumes play with the ball in the hands of Greg Hall. Carson back on the pitch now. Still a little discomfort, but I'm sure he'll manage the game as the goal kick goes forward, and Wardle, brilliant challenge, flicked on by Dunn now. Dunn with the header once more and looks to have taken a clatter into the face. Jack Dunn. And the game has just been paused for a moment as Dunn squats to the floor. I think he will be alright. Jack Dunn, who was brilliant in Saturday's game against Whitby, could have easily been awarded man of the match. It seems to be alright here. I think the referee just waiting to get the game back, and he eventually does, with Rouse, and now a switch of play by Matty Carson. Sean Smith clearly pushed in the back by Bailey Jones. He didn't really need to make the foul, as Smith didn't have anywhere to go with the header. But Bailey Basson will run to get the ball in the far side of the corner flag. Just under 2 minutes left of the first half. Marine with just a one big chance of the game, following Jordan Lussey's free kick, headed in by Freddie Price. His header coming off the bar. But apart from that, it's been a pretty even game between the sides. Marine seeing the ball in the home side's half a little more. And a challenge by Solomon Davis on Abadaki. Looked to come off Abadaki, but the linesman has aimed his flag in favour of the home side. And Carson with the ball at his hands, in no rush whatsoever, but does eventually take the throw down the line. Flicked on by Correa. Solomon Davis can only nip it out for another throw-in, this time inside the Marine half. Down the line once more by Carson, headed in by Solomon Davis, and Price is battling there, and a bit of a soft foul in there by Price on Matty Carson, and the home side will have a final chance to put the ball in the box in this first half. Matty Carson will be taking this free kick in a good area to put a ball in the box here. Will be a lot of disappointment if Marine are to concede in the last few seconds of the half. Played reasonably well so far. Carson has the ref's approval and puts the ball in, and Smith with a good header at the near post. And now Lussey will clear, but it's blocked in there by Bailey Jones for a Marine throw-in. I think yeah, 2 additional minutes there that the referee has indicated. I think we're just looking for a ball here. We've actually got one for Solomon Davis. Solomon Davis will get this game back underway with the throw-in down the line, headed well by Godwin Abadaki for another Marine throw-in. Solomon Davis will hit the line once more. There's a bit of tussling going on as we're waiting for Solomon Davis's throw-in. He does eventually go towards the line, but it's headed away. Charlie Dull in there with a nice header, but there's a great header in there by Charlie Dull. I'm not sure why the referee has penalised him for it. It's just challenged for the ball and won it cleanly. And the home side will have one more chance to knock the ball forward, courtesy of Matty Carson now. He switched it to Bailey Jones, who heads it back in, flicked on by Moonan. Now is Correa who's hit the deck, but referee given nothing there. Looks to be a push in the back of Correa. But a little bit of inconsistency here by the referee. But the home side do still have the ball with a throw-in. And Tom Miller will throw it down the line, but that is the half-time whistle. Stalybridge Celtic 0, Marine 0. And you can join us back in 15 minutes time for the second 45. Welcome back to Bowerfold. This is coverage of Stalybridge and Marine. Score was 0-0 going to half time, and Neil Young will react to that with a half time substitution. It will be James Barragan making his 100th Marine appearance. And Jordan Lussey is the man he will replace. With Barragan, brilliant in left back on the weekend, this time slotting in the middle of the park.
I'll just double check them, mate.
And Sol Solomon will get the game back underway. If you did miss that first half, it was new signing Freddie Price with the game's real chance. A header at the back post coming off the bar. The game is back underway here, and here's Abadaki coming forward for the home side. To Bailey Jones under the challenge of Price. Back to Miller, and one more to Holden. Holden hits it forward, but it's cut out by Wardle. The home side making an energetic start here. It is Correa running forward. Correa still got it. He's done well and tries to put a cross in, but straight into the hands of Bailey Passon. Just about staying in the field. Passon will just take his time and hit this one forward. Passon's ball finds Dunn, who flicks it on smartly, and Evans a little nudge in the back by Holden, but the game resumes, and here's Smith losing out to Correa. There is Bailey Jones now. Lovely from Jones, goes past Smith. Still Bailey Jones running at Josh Wardle now. Josh Wardle, and that is outstanding by Josh Wardle, marshalling Bailey Jones out of play. He skipped past Smith, but Wardle did just enough to shield the ball out for a goal kick. It's been brilliant all season. The captain, Wardle, a lot of the time goes under the radar. He's used to him being so good and so consistent, and he shows his quality there once again. Passon with the kick forward, looking for Evans, and it's won there by Solomon. Put the ball forward. Wardle will hit forward now. Price is in there well on Abadaki, but Abadaki does well to turn, and he gets past Price. Price is still on his back though, and Abadaki hits the deck, but game will carry on. And now here's Moonan with a bit of time. Miller, a long ball down the line. I think the last touch did come off Roos, I think that was.
I've seen that.
And Sean Smith will have a throw in on this near side.
I wonder why it looks quite good.
Smith goes short to Barragan, who, if he did miss, has come onto the pitch at half time for Jordan Lussey. A quick run of the teams. Marines team: Passon, Solomon Davis, Sean Smith, James Barragan, Josh Wardle, Johnny Spittle, Freddie Price, Charlie Doyle, Connor Evans, Sol Solomon and Jack Dunn. And is that Marines ball? It is. Although the referee has gone the opposite way, the linesman. Stalybridge will have a throw in just ahead of their own corner flag. Miller goes down the line now. Easy header for Smith though. And Evans looks to have evaded Waldron, who was out of position, but it's good work in the end by goalkeeper Greg Hall. And Hall will kick this one forward. It's a high ball, but Smith does get underneath it, and Smith goes down holding his head. And the referee looks to play on, but in the end does stop play. Smith did go down holding his head. I think might have came off worse in a challenge with a Badaki. The home side not too happy as they did have the ball in a rather dangerous area. But due to being a head injury, the referee did stop the game. Smith is back to his feet, still holding his head. But it's not as bad as first feared. And the fullback should be okay to carry on. Spittle just having a bit of a conversation with the referee. He's clearly not happy. I think he's saying Marine should have had the ball. But the referee, I think the referee's given a drop kick here to Bailey Jones. Marine player's not happy with the decision, but it will be a drop kick. And Bailey Jones comes back with the ball now. Goes to cross, but it's well blocked by Price. Header forward is cleared by Solomon. And Marine will push forward as the ball goes out for a Celtic throw-in. Tom Miller has come to take this throw-in around the halfway line, down the line, a long throw-in down the line. Headed by Smith, who hits the deck again. Spittle with the header forward now. Dunn helps it on towards Solomon, but the ball's cut out well by Waldron, but he can only find the far touchline for another Marine throw-in. It's 0-0 at Bowerfold. Solomon Davis with the throw-in now, hitting it down the line, headed in there. And Barragan comes away with it, but it hits his own teammate, Price, I think that was. But Marine do come away with Charlie Doyle, intercepted by Rouse. Rouse goes down, but play goes on. There's Jack Dunn running forward now. Dunn goes for an early shot, but it's well collected by Hull. Never really going to trouble the goalkeeper. That's the thing with Jack Dunn. If he sees a sighted goal, he's always going to go for the shot. Hull now hits it forward with the kick towards Correa. Spittle the challenge. Solomon Davis with another good challenge. But the host had the ball in. A shot comes in by Correa. A few challenges going in there, but referee keeping the game on. And a shot in the end by Correa causes Bassett no problem. And the goalkeeper will take this goal kick now. Bassett gets the game going with a kick towards Jack Dunn. I think the ball has gone all the way out though for a Celtic throw-in on that far side. Stalybridge fans trying to get behind their team, behind Bassett's goal. Certainly not look like a side that have gone 7 losses in a row. They've battled hard, the home side. Give Marine a few problems. As Johnny Spittle picks up the ball and goes back to Wardle in a deeper area. Barragan under a bit of pressure does find Sean Smith and into Connor Evans now. Evans loses out, but Smith comes forward again and back to Evans. Evans, can he find the white shirt this time? He's driving forward, Evans. Back to Price running at Miller. He puts a ball in towards the near post. Solomon made the run forward but was gathered by Greg Hull. Hull will hit this one forward as he's done every time in this game. It's a long one towards Solomon Davis, who's getting his arm tugged to the floor. I'm not too sure what the Stalybridge player is doing there on that far side, giving Solomon Davis a right yank. But the ball does run all the way to Passant in the goal. That been a severe Badiki there. A bit of a silly challenge. But in the end, Marine come forward and win a throw in halfway inside Celtic half. I think Jack Dunn is putting the ball under his shirt, and I think he's looking to put a long one into the box in the absence of Jordan Lussey. Dunn will launch this one in. It's a good throw in, but it's well headed away by Waldron. But Solomon Davis will pick up the pieces now. Back to Dunn. Dunn looks to run forward, and a kick at his own player in the end finds another Marine throw in. The atmosphere just building here at Bowerfold. Game yet to see any goals. But Dunn has another chance to launch the ball into the Celtic box. Marine have numbers forward here. Dunn with the delivery. Flicked on by Moonan and eventually cleared well by Miller. Smith hits it back towards the Celtic goal. Headed by Waldron. A flick on by Moonan, and Charlie Doyle goes flying onto the floor and wins his side a free kick in a good area. Jack Dunn has the ball in his hands once more to take this free kick. It's you'd think a little bit too far out for a shot, but Jack Dunn is prepared to try anything. We know that. And I do think he will be lining up a shot here, Jack Dunn, probably 30 or so yards out. Greg Hall yet to make really any saves in this game. And I think Dunn will test him here. Referee just organising the Celtic wall, making sure they've got their yards back. It will be Dunn, who shoots straight into the wall. Not one of his best ones, but he still has the ball in. He finds Solomon Davis, who looks to go forward, but a challenge in there by Carson means Marine will have a corner. Carson has stayed on the floor, similar to how he did in the first half. The full-back, I think, will be getting to his feet shortly, and does. Won't need any treatment this time, as Jack Dunn is behind another set piece for the Mariners. And we'll put it in, swinging corner into the box. It's flicked on by Charlie Doyle, I think that was, at the near post. But it runs all the way out for a Stalybridge goal kick. And Greg Hall will have a goal kick once more. Physio still observing Matty Carson. There's a little discomfort. There are a few knocks this game, that's for sure. Ball forward now, well won once more by Josh Wardle. Excellent header once more by the centre half. And Miller will have a throw in just inside the Marine half. Miller goes down the line, looking for Correa. Correa wins a flick on, but it's helped forward by Barragan, cut out by Abadaki, and the referee's awarded a free kick in the favour of Abadaki, who was wrestled by Price and Barragan, and there's a free kick for Celtic in a good area to put a delivery in now. The game certainly still in the balance for both teams to take advantage and claim all 3 points here tonight. A much needed one for the home side, who sit just above the relegation zone. And Carson is looking to put an in-swinging ball from the free kick. A bit of tussling on the edge of the box. Carson does eventually put across it. It's a great ball in, and it's found Miller He couldn't quite get a connection to it, and Marine eventually cleared their lines after a third time of asking. Might have got away with one there. It's a great ball by Carson. Miller was there, but he just seemed to miss track of the ball and couldn't get a connection towards goal. But Carson switches to the other side to take a throw in inside of his own half. Goes down the line. Done with the header. And the referee, I think he's given a free kick to Celtic. I think he's suggesting Dunn did a push in the back to win the header and has been penalised. So Carson will have an opportunity to put another free kick into the box. He's just put a cracking delivery first time. Can he do another one for the home side? Carson dinks it in, but it's gone straight to Passon, who gathers and looks to break here. Passon hits it forward towards Solomon, and Solomon just couldn't quite get to the ball before Abadaki. Spittle heads it forward though. And a challenge in there by Charlie Doyle, and now Sean Smith forward, but it's headed away by Waldron. Bit scrappy from both sides here, neither gaining possession, and a long ball by Miller towards Correa. Cleared by Spittle. Charlie Doyle couldn't get a header in over Rouse. And Jack Dunn comes over the ball but is tripped over, and a free kick for Marine inside of their own half. And Marine will be making their second substitution of the evening. I think Connor Evans will be the man replaced. And DJ Pedro is the man coming on.
Come on, DJ lad.
He's worked hard tonight, Connor Evans, but still yet to get that real started goal. The forwards, it's his third appearance in a Mariners shirt since joining on loan from Crewe Alexandra. Pedro comes on, looking to make a difference here for the Mariners. With Hayden Campbell still at the side, you do wonder where the goal might come from tonight. Obviously Sol Solomon with his brace on the weekend hasn't quite got into this game yet tonight. Barragan with the free kick straight into Correa. Smith has to go back all the way to Passon, who's under pressure by Correa. Passon does get the clearance away well towards Price. Holden is fouled in the end. Holden couldn't get the ball away, but the referee gives a foul in his favour. And Greg Hall will be underneath this one to knock it forward for the home side. Hall still waiting, and eventually gets behind the ball, knocks it forward towards Correa. Wardle in there again with the header. Knocked forward again towards Bailey Jones. He's got Marine players around him, but the winger does well to win a throw-in. I think Bailey Jones suggested he should have won a foul there, but he does have a throw-in for his side that Tom Miller will take. Miller receives the ball back from the throw, and Rouse puts a good delivery into the box, and it's headed back by Charlie Doyle, and the ball runs all the way out for the Stalybridge corner. Home side just slowly getting into this game. Past the hour mark now, and it remains goalless here. Corner comes in down, it's a good delivery, and Pedro is in there with the header. Pedro's there again, and he had to be there again to deny Rouse of a crossing opportunity, but the home side will have another corner now on this opposite side. Marine will have to defend well here, under a bit of pressure. Certainly a lot of kicks and bumps in the box the home fans aren't too happy about. Referee allows the game to go, and the corner is put in, and I think the final touch off Rouse goes out for a goal kick for the home side, but I think that's Scott Holding who's hit the deck, and he's claimed that he's been kicked there. I think it was Scott Holding and Johnny Spittle who were at each other, waiting for the corner to come in. And now Holding is, that's what he's saying to the referee, that he has been hit out, but I certainly didn't see anything. And the centre half is back to his feet now. Still not happy with the referee, but the game will get back underway here. No cards for either side as of yet. But Passam will take the goal kick. Lets it forward towards Jack Dunn again. Dunn flicks it on well, looking for Pedro, and Pedro's giving away a free kick here on Carson, looking to get around the ball. And another Stalybridge plays at the deck here, off the ball. I think it's Darius Waldron. Not too sure what's bothered him. He wasn't anywhere near the ball. Waldron. He's just rubbing his head, but he is back to his feet. Certainly battling hard, the home side. Greg Hall will take the free kick straight into the head of James Barragan, and now Price, who hits the ball forward, and it's headed forward by Scott Holding. Cut out by Charlie Doyle, who picks out Solomon now. Solomon running at the defence of Stalybridge. It's a great save in there by Greg Hall. Fantastic save by the goalkeeper. He hasn't had to do much in this game. He's done well to tip wide Solomon's great effort at goal. He did really well under the 3 challenges, Solomon. He got his shot away, aiming for the far post, but it is tipped wide for a corner. And Dunn will take the delivery. He comes short now to James Barragan. Barragan's touch isn't the best, and he gives it back to Dunn, and Dunn's delivery towards the back post is headed by Pedro, and it's tipped onto the crossbar. Greg Hall again, an unbelievable save by the Stalybridge number 1, keeping his side in the game here. It didn't look like one of Jack Dunn's best crosses, but it found the head of Pedro and tipped onto the bar, and Marine will have another corner now on the opposite side that Freddie Price has come over to take. Marine looking to build under pressure. Price's corner comes into Wardle, and Pedro's shot is blocked and out for another corner. Pedro screaming at the referee for a handball. Wardle also there asking for a handball, but nothing was given. It was a good block in the end by Stalybridge, and Marine have another corner now. Jack Dunn will put this one in. It's a good ball, and it's flicked on towards a far post, and it's headed onto the roof of the net by Charlie Doyle. Somehow Marine in these last few moments haven't taken the lead. 3 set pieces in a row, and Charlie Doyle's flick header looked to be heading towards the far top corner, but instead nestles on the roof of the goal. And instead the home side will have a goal kick. Certainly the best spell of the game for either side. And the kick has gone straight into the head of Dunn and cleared by Waldron now. Dunn again battling in there, but it's headed forward by Rouse. Spittle clears forward towards Pedro. Pedro lays it off to Solomon, and a good challenge in there by Moonen. Means the Marine can't go forward at that time. And instead the visitors have a throw in inside their own half. It was a really good spell though for the Mariners, that. Pedro coming close on 2 occasions. Charlie Doyle also in there, unlucky to not give his side the lead. Solomon Davis now with the throw-in towards Dunn. Dunn loses out this time, but Wardle with a high foot, but the game is played on here with Correa. Lays it off to Bailey Jones, who slices his effort wide. He had passing scrambling there. It was a good chance for the home side, as the game has certainly livened up in these last few stages. 70 minutes on the clock. Still Celtic 0, Marine 0. Referee did well to play advantage there. And he gave Bailey Jones a chance to shoot, but he'd be able to do better, and passing goes short on the goal kick towards Sean Smith now. Smith hits it down the line to Price. Price, under the challenge of Miller, is fouled, and Marine will have a free kick. Just heading into the last 20 minutes here, still goalless. Smith's ball from the free kick is straight into the hands of Greg Hall. Still looking for the first goal in this game. Marine would be thinking they could have had it then. And ball forward by Hall from the kick. Cut out by Spittle, but it has to be cleared by Solomon Davis now. Cut out by Carson, and here's a chance to shoot, and a great challenge by Spittle, but it's a chance to shoot again, and Barragan this time with the block. And a good tackle by Rouse. Keeps the home side with the ball, but his switcher play is out for Marine throwing. 2 good blocks in there by the Mariners. But still anyone's game here at Bowerfold. And Solomon Davis now with the throw-in on that far side. Goes forward towards Dunn, but it's headed forward. Charlie Doyle now. Hits it forward, but it's cleared by Holden. Correa now battling with Spittle, and Spittle gets the better of him this time. But Celtic still have the ball now. Sean Smith cuts out the danger, and now is Price. Price does well to lay it forward to Smith now, who's coming forward. Smith, can he keep it in? He can. And he's looking to put a ball in, and he does. Smith, it's a great ball in, and it's well defended in the end, I think, by Waldron. I think Waldron might have slipped. Well, the cross came in, but he did just enough to keep out Solomon, who was coming in. Solomon now down the middle, as Connor Evans came off for DJ Pedro earlier. Headed forward now by the home side. Smith with the header away. Ball now with Abadaki. Good challenge in there by Barragan. Barragan thinks he should have won the throw, but it's a Stalybridge Celtic throw inside the Marine half. But before that will take place, 2 changes for the home side, replacing Asabi Abadaki, is Nathan Kane making his Stalybridge Celtic debut on loan from Stafford Rangers. And coming off also is Dylan Moonen, and Ethan Padden will be the man to replace him. Stalybridge reacting to that good Marine pressure. It's just over 15 minutes left of normal time here. Referee just having a word with his linesman here. I think he's just pulling Barragan to one side here, the referee. Just telling him to keep it quiet. And Tom Miller will get things back underway with the throw-in now. Miller looks to play 1-2 with the throw, but Barragan cuts it out, and there's Pedro now holding the ball. Does well, but Price can't quite get hold of the ball, and the home side have the ball back with Abadiki. Godwin Abadiki, that is. Out to Matty Carson. Carson to the substitute Ethan Padden, who's battling under the challenge of Solomon Davis, and he goes down and wins the free kick. Nathan Kane it was in the end, winning the free kick for Stalybridge. And Stalybridge will have a free kick and a chance to put a delivery in here. Still remains 0-0, but a chance to change that. There's Matty Carson, who's put some good deliveries in so far this game, will aim to put another in. Carson with the delivery. It's another decent one, and it's headed towards goal by substitute Ethan Padden. It's a simple one in the end for Passon, who looks to break quickly now with a ball forward towards Solomon. And Carson lets it run and does well in the end to let it run to goalkeeper Greg Hall. I think Marine will be making a final change in the coming moments. Luke Clark stripped and ready. But Hall gets the ball forward. Wardle flicks it on. Spittle clears, and Sean Smith's there for Marine. Now Jack Dunn with a ball forward that no one's going to get on the end of. Runs all the way to goalkeeper Hall. Luke Clark, who started on Saturday, on the bench tonight, but will make an appearance for Marine. I think it could be in the place of new signing Freddie Price. But before that, it's a ball forward by Celtic, and it's a shot coming in by, it was Carrera in the end, laid off by Rouse, but Carrera's effort was horribly wrong, and out for a Marine goal kick. Substitution for both sides there. Coming off was new signing Freddie Price, who's certainly been involved in the game. Had a chance in the first half with his header hit the bar. He's been replaced by Luke Clark. And Theo Bailey-Jones has come off for Tanashi Chakwana for the home side. So I'm just looking to see what the formation is now. I think Solomon Davis has pushed up and Luke Clark slotted it right back. But it could even be a back five, it seems to be, and a ball forward now that Passon will have to deal with, and just about gets it clear. Passon, a bit unconvincing there. And Stalybridge get the ball forward. Wardle now clears his lines, and it could find the feet of Pedro, and Pedro's touch goes out wide, but he still has the ball now. Pedro under the challenge and wins his side of throwing. Did well in the end, the substitute. I think it is a back five for Marine. Solomon Davis pushing up to right wing back, as well as Smith on the opposite side. But I think it will be Jack Dunn to take a long throw in for Marine. Throwing now by Dunn into the box, and well cleared in the end by Celtic, and they will have a throw in the home side halfway inside their own half. Wardle just coming back from that set piece, back into shape, and I think it will be like a 5-3-2 now for Marine, with Solomon and Pedro at the top end. There is Solomon, lays it off to Smith now, who hits it forward looking for Pedro. Pedro was well, and is done now. Finds Solomon Davis with a bit of space. Solomon Davis looks to get past Matty Carson, but the fullback done well, as he has done all game. Puts the ball out for a Marine throw-in. Luke Clark He's one of a number of Marine players who can put a long throw into the box, and that's what he will do here. Clark, not the best one, but the ball is out for another one of his throw-ins. Jack Dunn, I think, will take hold of this one after that poor one from Clark. Dunn launches it into the box now. Wardle looking for a flick on, but the ball's out back up with Dunn. Dunn takes on his man and puts it across, and it's headed up into the air, and Solomon Davis will flick it on, but keeper Greg Hall will get hold of the ball under the challenge of South Solomon. Not too sure what Scott Holding's frustrated at Solomon for. He had to challenge for the ball, and he did, but Greg Hall was always getting to it. And we're heading into the last 10 minutes here. Still Stalybridge Celtic 0, Marine 0. And Hall will get us back underway with the goal kick now. I think that will go all the way out, but Wardle just about gets the header, and the home side have a throw in on the halfway line. Miller launches it down the line now towards Correa. Wardle again. He's won every single header this evening. Wins it again, but done well here. Abadaki, but cleared at the end, and is Pedro. And Pedro's breaking now for Marine, and Pedro is still breaking, and Pedro skips past the man. It's still Pedro. Oh, and it's fantastic recovery tackle in the end by Darius Waldron, who's been brilliant at the back. Barrigan's complaining to the referee. I think it was a brilliant challenge in the end by the defender on Pedro, who skipped past the centre half, but the defender got back well. The ball did go out for a throw-in, and Jack Dunn will launch this one into the box once more. It's bounced into the box and cleared away by Abadaki. Ball back with Jack Dunn now. His cross is blocked, and the ball back with Josh Wardle, and all the way back to Bailey Passon, who hits it long. Jack Dunn still on that wing and couldn't quite win the header, but wins himself a throw-in. Both sets of fans looking to get behind the team as we enter the last few minutes of normal time. Done with the throw-in now. Clark will take over and go down the line, and it's headed clear and cleared well by Waldron, but only as far as Bailey Passon, who leaves it to be picked up and throws it to Josh Wardle now. He's been colossal at the back for Marine once more. His passing to Barrigan isn't the best one, in fact, and Wardle, under a bit of pressure from substitute Chikwana, is able to clear eventually, and the ball down the middle of the pitch with Carson, who heads forward. The head hits Clark, and Spittle hits it to Solomon Davis. His ball down the line finds Matty Carson, who returns a favour, and his ball towards Raul Correa is stopped as Correa is offside, and Passon will have a chance to launch it forward once more. Not long to go now. Still 0-0. As Passon hits the free kick forward, looking for Pedro, but it's headed well. Dill gets his head to it though, and Solomon goes down under the challenge, but Maurice still had the ball here with Barrigan. Barrigan's ball forward won't find a white shirt, and it's collected by Greg Hall. Solomon just getting back to his feet. A little bit discomfort, but it should be alright to carry on here. Kick forward by Hall now. A long ball forward. Wardle wins it again, but it's found Kane. But Kane's forward header runs straight to Passon. That bit of quality that we've seen in games this season hasn't been quite there tonight for either side. It's shown there again as Passant has the ball and will hit it a long one forward. It's going to run all the way to Pedro, who lays it off to Dunn now. Dunn in a good area. Smith on the overlap. Jack Dunn's shot is blocked and Marine will have a corner.
Smith with him then.
Smith made a great overlapping run, but Dunn opted for the shot. But he has one inside a corner that both Clark and Solomon have gone towards. Solomon is the man who will take the delivery though. Can Marine get a late winner here? It's a great corner in with a lot of pace on it by Solomon. And both officials aren't too sure who the last touch came off, but the goal kick in the end has been awarded. I think maybe a little bit too much pace on that by Solomon. As Hall has a ball once more for this goal kick. Five minutes to go in this Northern Premier League fixture. Marine will go 7 unbeaten in all competitions if the scoreline stays like this. But Kane has the ball now for the home side. Cut out by Smith. Ball still with Abadaki. Challenged by Dunn. And Dunn's there again and Barragan heads forward now. Carson clears. And the header by Wardle finds Carson again, and Carson does well and is running it. Simon Davis, who just overruns it. Had a good game, the fullback, Matty Carson, on loan from League One side Accrington Stanley. Certainly shown his quality this evening. And Clark with the throw in and goes forward. Ball finds Sean Smith, who brings it down nicely and lays off Wardle. And Wardle's ball forward is not found a white shirt and it's run all the way out for a Celtic throw-in. Carson has the ball in his hands for the throw-in. It goes down the line. And Carson has the ball once more for another throw-in. Just edging his way down the line here on that far side. Carson hits it line once more. Header in there by Clark. And cleared by Charlie Doyle, but only as far as Carson, who's brought to the ground by Solomon. Not too much in that one, but the referee has given a free kick. And Stalybridge will put some numbers forward here for this free kick. Just inside the Marine half. Matty Carson on this one once more. And will deliver towards the back post, looking for Padden, who gets the header and he heads it back into the box, but is called offside by the linesman. Passant will take the free kick quickly here and finds Luke Clark, and Clark will knock this one forward. Not the best ball by any means, and it's cut out, but Pedro is in there to win the ball back for Marine. Pedro does really well to find Barragan. Barragan's ball forward is a poor one, and I think that'll run all the way out for a Celtic throw-in, and it does. Just that bit of quality lacking by the Mariners this evening. They've had the chances. Price in the first half, Pedro in the second. Neither of those found in the back of the net though, but here is Pedro. Lays it off to Dunn now. Dunn. A nice ball towards Solomon Davis, and Solomon Davis does get on the ball, but he slips and the ball is eventually cleared only as far as Luke Clark now. Clark into Barragan. Barragan under a bit of pressure, but he skips past the challenge. And he's looking for Smith, and Barragan again, not too sure what he was thinking with the pass, but the ball runs all the way to goalkeeper Hall. I think just tried a little too hard there, Barragan, when the easy pass was on. Hall rolls the ball out and will hit it forward now. He digs the ball out towards Padden, but Wardle with the header. Spittle again. 2 centre halves been terrific again this evening for Marine. Spittle and Wardle. The ball forward by Carson is all the way out for a throw-in, but Pedro has hit the deck from that challenge. Certainly in a bit of discomfort here, DJ Pedro, and that's the last thing Neil Young will want, with Hayden Campbell already on the sidelines. Pedro just trying to find his feet here and his help to his feet. Should be alright to carry on here, as Josh Wardle has the ball in his hands for a throw-in deep inside the Marine half. As we're just waiting to see how much added time will be awarded here. The throw-in finds Jack Dunn, but all the way out for a throw-in to the home side. And 4 minutes will be awarded additional time. Throw-in now by Miller. Headed forward, but straight into the hands of Passon. Passon looking to go quickly once more, and he does, and he hits it forward looking for Sol Solomon. Solomon does challenge and cleared by Miller. It was a good challenge by Solomon with the header. Doyle gets his head to that one. And the ball cleared by Spittle, but only as far as Padden on that far side. Kept in play by Doyle. But Carson now with the home side. Lofts it forward, Carson. And header in there by Passon, who couldn't claim the ball as he was out of his box, but heads above Chakwada. But Celtic still had the ball here. Marine, I think, will be happy with the point right about now. His home side looked to break, but Barragan intercepts well and clears Barragan. Looking for Solomon, and the ball only as far as Dunn, but Dunn too high, and Barragan comes flying in with a challenge, and he certainly won the ball, Barragan, but took out the man with him. And on his 100th appearance, there'll be no surprise to see him enter the referee's book for the challenge on Captain Tom Miller. Miller in a little discomfort from the heavy tackle by Barragan, but does find his feet eventually. Stalybridge now with the free kick, just the side of their own half that Waldron will launch towards the back post. Header won in there, but a clear push on Charlie Doyle. And Marina awarded a free kick. Bassett will take this one quickly, looking for DJ Pedro on that far side. Cut out by Carson, but Marine have a throw-in. Clark halfway inside the home side half, goes back to Spittle. Spittle comes inside, plays a ball forward looking for Pedro. And can Pedro keep this ball in it? No, I didn't think he could. There was a lot of pace on that. And the ball runs all the way out for a goal kick for Stalybridge. Marine have had their chances in this game, but the scoreline is still goalless, with just over a minute of stoppage time to go. But it does mean the Mariners will go 7 unbeaten in all competitions. Cut out by Spittle off that goal kick, and Sean Smith goes line. Jack Dunn flicks on, but it's only as far as Carson, who finds Abadaki. Abadaki taking on Barragan. And the ball finds Chakwada. Chakwada takes on Spittle and is brought to the ground. And it's a penalty. This is a penalty to Stalybridge. In the dying seconds of the game, Johnny Spittle brought down Chakwada. And the Marine players are fuming at the referee and the linesman. The linesman was the one who flagged the penalty. And it's a penalty to Stalybridge Celtic in the dying seconds of the game. The referee just ushering the Marine players away as he wants a word with his linesman. And just as the game seemed to be petering out for a goalless draw here, I think the home side will have a penalty. And it's certainly kicking off now in the middle of the pitch between the two players. Barragan involved and Scott Holden involved for the home side as he has been all night at the front of the conflict. And after a pretty tame game that looked to be headed for a 0-0, it's still kicking off in the middle there. Luke Clark now making his feelings known. And the referee is just standing away. He needs to get control of this game before anything gets a little too serious in there. The linesman awarded the penalty and Marine players still not happy with the decision. Could Stalybridge Celtic, who've lost 7 of the last 7 league games, come out winners it? A yellow card has been awarded to Luke Clark. Still just looking to be calmed down there inside the box. All 3 officials around the penalty area. And I think the penalty will eventually be taking place any time now. Raul Correa is a man with the ball. He's had to wait a long time to take the spot kick with all the argy-bargy going on around the box. And this will be heartbreak for Marine. And it's still kicking off there with Wardle and Tom Miller. Tom Miller grabbing Wardle round the back of the net there needlessly. And it's quite ridiculous he's grabbing Sean Smith round the head now, and it's quite bizarre by the captain. He's grabbing Marine players round the heads for no apparent reason. Referee taking no part in the conflict. Quite astonishing scenes here, to be honest. Captain Tom Miller, I've seen twice grab first Josh Wardle, secondly Sean Smith round the neck. Seems to be getting away with everything he's doing right now. I'm not too sure what the referee is. I think he just wants to get on with the penalty now, despite the ridiculous scenes going on behind of it. But eventually we do have the penalty. Raul Correa now deep into stoppage time with a penalty to win this game for Stalybridge. Correa with the penalty. And he's missed it! And he's absolutely skied the penalty far high and wide. And Correa, who had to wait a long time to take the penalty, hits it horribly. And the linesman's flag is up here. I'm not too sure. It was a terrible penalty by Correa, but the linesman's put his flag up once more. He signalled the penalty in the first place, and now he's signalling something else. I'm hoping this isn't going to be a retake here. I'm not too sure what's going on with the officials. I don't think they know themselves, to be honest, but the game is about to get back under with Passant. I think the linesman left it in the end after a strange decision, but Passant does get the ball away, and it's a full-time whistle here. An unbelievable end to the game. I can't quite believe the scenes at the end of that. Stalybridge with a 90 plus however many minutes of stoppage time penalty that Correa hit wide, and the game ends goalless. And in the end, I think Marine will take the point there. It means the unbeaten run stretches to 7 games, and it finishes here. Stalybridge Celtic 0, Marine 0. And you can join us for more action this Saturday as Marine are back at home to Belpatel, and we will see you all there. Thank you all for tuning in this evening, and we'll see you on Saturday.